Hi, I am Aruni. I am a tarot reader. I'm here to teach you how to do tarot readings in a simple and straightforward manner. We use the Morgan Greer tarot pack. Some people affirms that this is the closest to the original tarot images. The images are very easy to read, so it is important to use a pack that is you can feel confident about it. Today we are exploring how to go deeper into a reading. As I have explained, the best way to learn is to approach a teacher, and you with the teacher can learn step by step, and the teacher can see where is it that you need practice, and you can do the application of all the principles that a teacher teaches you as you read. Important. So my teacher taught me to keep the two bits separated, 78 cards, the major arcana 22 and the minor arcana 56, and that's what happens is that the major arcana gives you the major issue, the essence, the root of the problems or the condition or the situation that your client is approaching you for, and the minor arcana being rods, coins, swords, and coins, rods, swords, and what else, and cups. Then you have a lot of detail from the minor arcana. So today we want to do a simple, straightforward reading. The client comes to you and says, well, I don't know, I don't want nothing specific. A lot of clients say they don't have any problem in their lives, and that may be truth, but it's very difficult to believe that there are human beings in this world who don't have any problem in their lives. So we say, okay, it's cool. Shall I make a general reading? Yes, just do a general. They say, I don't have nothing going on. You know, a lot of clients come like that. So you say, okay, let me just have a look. Past, present, future. Okay, the client, of course, has already shuffled the cards, and because he has done that, the cards are ready and prepared to answer any question that the client may ask, or they are ready to solve and to show us what situations are going on in the life of the client, past, present, future. So today what we want to do is do a simple general reading, and our emphasis today will be in, okay, you know, when you do a general reading, some issues come up to the surface and the client say, well, you know, and then it's what the client actually want to know, and so then you deal with that issue, you deal with the options. So let's just start with our past, present, future. Again, the bottom of the past. Sometimes it's not necessarily the past as if what happened when I was 10 or 12 or 15, but sometimes it shows you the elements in the past that have become the important elements in the life of the person, how the person reacts, how the person sees the world. So we begin here with the major arcana, and the first card that comes up is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is a card that represents change. We have another card that represents change, is the Death card. But there is a difference between these two cards in that the Death card represents a change that is not coming back, just like life, death, you know, like black, white. Whereas the Wheel, being a wheel, the situation can change for the better and can go bad again, or the situation can get bad and then it can become good again. So we don't actually have means to know in which direction this change is taking place. On the whole, the card is a positive card more than a negative card, but what is going to tell us what kind of change is coming are the minor arcana. So we look at the minor arcana because this will give us the details as to what sort of change is the one that is coming into the client's life. Ooh, the wheel is about to roll. Maybe it has already begun. Maybe the client already feeling, yeah, and now people start ringing me or something is going on. So let's look at the minor arcana to know about the details. Sorry, they're upside down. Okay, we have two cards. At first glance, I just saw lots of coins. There is lots of coins in the neck of this lady. The name of this card is Money. And there is lots of coins here. And this is the 8 of rods. This is a client making money with his own abilities, employment, job. So okay, so if you ask me, there is changes coming. In which area? Well, I know now. Is the financial area. The financial area start to move, and now it's going to be money, and it's money not that someone gave you, but it's money coming from your own abilities, your skills, your employment, your job, your own personal abilities. Good. So now I know this is where I start. That's the foundation of where we started, and that the cards seem to put emphasis on the financial area. Sometimes the readings are focused on the plans of the person, the vision, the education, the love. In this case, it seems to be focusing on finances. Okay, so let's move on to the present. And we look at the middle line here. The major arcana. Chariot. Now the chariot represents traveling. We have said in the previous reading that traveling sometimes is very simple as a message, means the client is going somewhere. Sometimes if the client asks you, I want to go abroad to work, or I want to go to a university in a different city, it's very difficult, it's very easy when the question is related to traveling. It is a bit harder when the question is called no traveling involved and the traveling card appears. So my experience has shown me that a lot of the times the traveling reflects a chronological point. So sometimes I ask the client, are you going on a holiday? You go on a holiday or some journey? Yes, mid-month I'm going to go here or there. Okay, from that point on, we're looking at the present. From that point on, unless it's of course a journey that has a purpose, from that point on, this is what's going on. This is the minor arcana. This is the details. What are the details? So some people may say, oh, if it's ups and downs, if it's this way, that way. We were saying that we don't do that. Some people do, some people learn that way. I didn't. We just learn the cards and the message that they give us. So to me, it doesn't matter if it comes this way, that way. I just read the cards and the messages that the cards give me. So what is the minor arcana saying? Look, more coins. We have two cards of coins, and another is all coins. So again, I'm in the right track. I think we are in a situation in which we're observing all about finances. Okay, what are the cards saying now? Well, the cards are saying, the name of this card is charity. What does that mean? Charity means you're doing something for the benefit of others. And you can see this man is giving money. But as he gives money away, look at the amount of money that comes from the top. So in a sense, it's a way in which humanity should live freely. The more we give, the more it comes. But of course, that requires faith. You have to have the faith that it is a good way of going about life. That you give, and because you're giving, people naturally feels to reciprocate, and therefore they give. Therefore, you receive more. Anyway, so this is the card in regard to the money. You're going to come into money. Oh, your ability is going to start giving you money. So what are you going to do about it? Well, probably something that will benefit others. Let's say training, education, traveling, educating others, for instance. That would be an interesting thing. And what is the other card saying? Oh, the other card is saying disappointment. That's the name of this card. Now, the way to look at this card is that the man has a tool in his hands for harvesting. So this person seems to have put a lot of effort into something. And when he comes to pick the fruit, there is no fruit in there. So remember in the previous reading, we saw that the client had difficulty trusting. And that could be why. Because there was a heartache. Well, now we are in the financial section of the client's life, and we find that the client may have difficulty investing the money or giving the money because in the past the client put so much effort in giving to others and they did not reciprocate or they did not acknowledge. So now the client is being filled with disappointment, may or may not do what they want to do. So far we're looking at it, and it's all about finances. Let's look at the future. So we look at the future now, and we look at the major arcana to find out what's the message. Now, before we open the cards, I said to you there are two cards that talk about change. One is the Wheel of Fortune, which represents a change, but it's a change that just as it comes, it can go. And I said there is another card that represents change, which is the Death card. Now, the Death card is different in that the change that the Death card represents is a change that once it comes, there's no turning back. So basically, it's a radical, irreversible change. That's the word for this card. Whenever you get this card, boom, you know, radical, irreversible change. So now we know that, and we're going to see in which direction this is. And we open the minor arcana to have a look at what we're looking at, because it says there is an irreversible change. Now we know from the life of the client that the client had some difficulties trusting the partner, and the arguments could actually rob the client of a brilliant future. So we want to know now what is that could be this radical change, because we're already seeing that there is change in the client's life, but now the cards are overemphasizing that yes, this change is radical, it's serious, it's heavy, and now we want to look what is that change. So we look at the minor, and the minor arcana gives us what? It gives us the King of Cups, and it gives us the Queen of Cups. Now, these two cards, we have said that the cards have a meaning and sometimes represent people in the life of the client. So because we are looking at the client's life, we could be forgiven for thinking, yes, I think this is you and your partner. We have been reading for the client, and we saw that the client, due to the past experiences, the client was having difficulty making decisions. But in this moment, in this historical moment, the partner loves the client, and therefore they should make the decisions together. And now when the radical change comes into place, what is it that appears? The client is appearing as a king or a queen, and the partner of the client is appearing as the other one. So you're reading for the gentleman, he is probably the king, and his queen appears with it. If you're reading for a lady, she's probably the queen, and his king appears. So there's no loss here. You are looking at something which is very, very beautiful. In the emotional house of the client, we saw that there was an angel there, which means this couple, this combination is blessed. They will be very fruitfully, they work together. And now we see them, not only they are king and queen, which is difficult. Sometimes it's a king, but she is not a queen. Or sometimes you get the queen, but he is not a king, he is the page or the knight, which means they may not be of similar social status. But in this case, it's perfect, the king and the queen. Not only that, but sometimes you get the king of rods, but it's the Queen of Cups. Sometimes you get the Queen of Swords, but he's the King of Rods. But in this case, you have King and Queen of Cups. Perfect. And I would say that this solves our situation at this moment in time, and we're going to deal with questions in the next one. We have seen that it's all about finances, but it's all about working together, and the changes are for the best, because it's all about improving. This card is called money, so it looks like they're going to enter into a moment in which everything is going to work well for them. So it looks really good. In the next one, we deal with questions. Thank you for watching. This is Tarot by Aruni. Please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe.